Hello, and thank you for joining us. My name is Tasheen Jackson, and I am the president of the Veteran Service Group here at Essex County College. Today, we will be hosting our Veterans Day program and launching our Vet 365 initiative, which is a program geared to providing support services to veterans all year round. The Veteran Service Group is open to students, faculty, and staff. We welcome anyone who is interested in providing support services to veterans here at Essex County College. Now we'd like to introduce our faculty advisor for the Veteran Service Group. It is a pleasure to introduce Professor Sean Yearwood of the Business Department. He is a avid supporter of our club, and we are so grateful to have him lead us in this process of starting this club. Professor Yearwood.
Hi, thank you very much, Deshaun. It's a pleasure indeed to be part of such an important organization, supporting our fellow comrades, veterans. We have served the nation well, and we have to stay united as we move towards civilian life. We tend to lack the comradeship that we have always enjoyed in the military that kept us together, kept us motivated, producing at a high level. So within Essex County College, this new program organization that we're putting together is critical for veterans. Veterans need a lot of support. We come back from the various tasks that we've been placed among many other veterans to get done in the interest of the nation. But when we get back home, there's limited support. Essex County College can help veterans by providing, maximum support for them. We deal with issues that civilians and generals do not understand. And of course, we come from the military. We do not complain. We just soldier on. We soldier on. So the hidden challenges that we're facing calls for support from fellow veterans. The college can provide such thing as a veteran lounge so that veterans can get together and talk, their war stories, help to heal each other, along with other counseling that we may need from time to time. So this is just very great that we're moving in this direction. And to Sean, thank you for the hard work, bro.
Thank you, Professor Yearwood. It is a pleasure to have you be a part of the Veteran Service Group. And I just want to say that from the moment I met you, you have been an avid supporter of the group, and you've given us a lot of space to present new ideas and let the group grow. And we look forward to your continued leadership. Thank you very much.
Thank you. A pleasure indeed.
I'd like to talk briefly about the Veteran Service Group. This group is born out of a need to provide continued support services for veterans here at Essex County College. The transition from military life to civilian life can be very challenging. And this club seeks to provide an environment for veterans to make that transition into academic life more smooth. We will be holding a number of activities. Myself, who is acting as the president of the club, and Mr. Nicholas Passafium, who is acting as the vice president. We'll go into the elections later on. We will be filling those roles until a formal election takes place. The Veterans Group will be doing a number of activities from community service to educational sessions and just some fun activities here at Essex County College. We will do community outreach, advocating support for veterans and the services and the needs for veterans, and providing information for veterans. We'll also do volunteer programs. We will target veteran service organizations and provide opportunities to support their programs. And we'll continue to provide mentorship in the community. As veterans, we have a long history of community service and mentorship and community building. And so this is a great opportunity for us to continue to stand out and show our leadership from our service to our service as veterans. The discussion topics will vary. Today, we'll cover a number of topics from understanding the GI Bill into veteran support services at the VA, at your local VA. And we'll also have an opportunity to learn about the GI Bill and how it is changing and how to best take advantages of the resources available. But we're not just going to be about doing and learning. We're going to be about having a little bit of fun. So we're going to introduce some activities like military bingo night. And we'll also do a Veterans Day ceremony. We'll also have luncheons where we'll bring in distinguished guests and veterans to talk about transitioning into civilian life and the benefits of taking advantage of your education opportunities. Later on, we'll have Dean Kirkland come on and speak about some of the services, some of his experience as a veteran and the opportunities that he has had in pursuing his education as a veteran and the benefits that are available here at Essex County College and his experience here. So we're going to take this veterans group to a new level. We're not just a support group. This is a group supporting veterans. And we're looking for participants from the faculty, as well as the staff and students, regardless of your military affiliation. Next slide, we will look at, we'll talk about the veterans group structure as it stands. Right now, the active participants is myself. Again, my name is Tasheen Jackson, and I am a U.S. Navy veteran. I am a student here at Essex County College, and I am a business major. The vice president for the Veterans Service Group is Nicholas Pacifium. He is a U.S. Marine Corps veteran, and you can reach him through our email here, eccvsg@gmail.com. Nicholas and I have been working tirelessly to put together this program and to bring some new and fresh and innovative ideas here to Essex County College. We have linked with Professor Yearwood, and we are happy to have him as our faculty advisor. Professor Yearwood is also an Army veteran, as he mentioned, and we are excited to have his experience. Professor Yearwood has a long history of veteran service here at Essex County College, as he started one of the first veteran support groups. And we are very happy and blessed to have him participate and guide us. What is the veterans group going to be doing? We are launching an initiative that we are calling Vet 365. And Vet 365 is about supporting veterans year round. You know, Veterans Day, we are all aware of veterans and the needs of veterans and supporting our troops and supporting our veterans. But veterans are veterans every day of the year. They go through their struggles, their transitions continue beyond just Veterans Day. So although we are very happy to kind of announce the birth of the Veterans Service Group here today, November 11th, 2021, as the birth of the Veterans Support Group, Veterans Service Group. Vet 365 is about taking it beyond today. And what we'll be doing is introducing a large number of activities that will go on throughout the year to raise awareness about veterans and the services and needs of veterans year round. And so we will be asking the school and veterans in the community to submit art for our logo for the Veterans Club, and we will have a competition to see whose submission will be our official logo for the Vet 365 and the Veterans Service Group. We will do things like a Veterans 5K run. We will do a Veterans movie night, which it's going to be a surprise what the movie is, and we have some great ideas in mind. We'll be sending out email blasts with veterans trivia challenges and word puzzles. And we'll also be launching a Vet Pride Day. And we're going to ask veterans and students and faculty and staff to show their vet pride and wear veteran paraphernalia. And we will have people posting their veteran pride on the Veterans Service Group website, and which will be soon to come. And so we'll be doing a whole host of lectures on different topics that are important to veterans, and we're looking for you guys to submit your ideas for projects throughout the year and opportunities to educate our veterans and provide support services throughout the community on behalf of the Veterans Service Group and on behalf of Essex County College. All right. And we will now talk about, take this opportunity to acknowledge our first official sponsor of the Veterans Service Group, the Essex County College campus store. And we will now take this time to see a brief commercial from the campus store.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Anna Carinante. I'm the store manager here at the college bookstore. We are privately owned by Follett Higher Education, who is partnering with the college to help run the store, which we carry anywhere from supplies that you might need for your courses, headphones, computers to help you study now that we are digital, clothing to show your Essex spirit, as well as printers if you need anything to print out paperwork. Trying to think if I am forgetting anything, but I would love to see you guys come down and stop by and check us out. We just finished a new remodel about a month ago, and we are continuing to do some remodeling from the outside of the store for the main entrance. So we're excited about that. Our store hours are Monday through Friday, 10 to 4. So hopefully we see you all soon. And to add to the digital component, as you are all students here at Essex, or returning students, new students, we have partnered with the college to try to make learning easy and inexpensive. So we are doing a digital program where you pay $75 on your tuition fee, and the course material is automatically given to you via email or linked into the LMS with Moodle. And if you have a preference of getting a printed copy, we are more than happy to do that here as well. It would be an additional fee. However, it was the most inexpensive way to get the best product for you, especially now that we are dealing with the new COVID world of digital learning, and trying to get over the hump and coming back to on-campus learning. We are happy to be here for you if you ever have any questions or concerns. Again, we're open Monday through Friday, 10 to 4. And it's myself as the store manager. We have Collison Henderson here, who I'm going to present to you as she's our assistant store manager.
Hi, my name is Collison Henderson. I'm the assistant store manager here in the campus store. We are here for like any questions or concerns that anyone may have. Stop in. We'll try our best to help you. And if we don't know the answer, we can't help, then we'll try to direct you to the correct department within the campus. Just stop in whenever you get a chance. We do have more than just books, being that books are now digital. I know a lot of people may not think to come into the store, but we have a lot of cool things here, a lot of things that can help with like learning, furthering your education, or just like materials that can help with your courses that you're taking now. So stop in whenever you get a chance.
All right, so thank you everybody and good luck with the program and your group. Happy Veterans Day. It is Veterans Day.
Yeah, happy Veterans Day.
Thank you.
All right. And thank you so much for participating in the Vet 365 Veterans Day program. And for your participation, all students of Essex County College who log in to this program on Veterans Day, November 11th, 2021, you must type in the chat your name and you will be automatically entered into a raffle. This raffle will offer its winner a small prize that is donated by the Essex County College campus store. We'd like to take this opportunity to thank the campus store and its staff for their support. And we'd like to thank our students for participating in today's program. And good luck, and please be sure to include your name. And this raffle is for all students who visit this program on November 11th, 2021. Now, the Veterans Service Group would like to collaborate with a National Honor Society known as SLAO. SLAO is one of the only National Honor Societies for veterans. They currently have over 400 colleges participating in their program, soon to be 401, because I'd like to bring a chapter to Essex County College. They have over 2,000 students currently, and you have the opportunity for scholarships. And every year they release funds for scholarships. And if you are a member, you can be eligible for those scholarships. You have the opportunity to wear their regalia during your graduation if you are a member. If you look over to the right of the slide, you can see those honors that you can wear with your cap and gown. So it's really a great opportunity to show that you are a veteran and that you have achieved scholastic excellence. To be a member of the program. So let me first say that SLAO will be a program within the Veteran Service Group. So you can be a member of the Veteran Service Group, and you do not have to be a member of SLAO. Okay? But if you would like to join the Veteran Service Group and then additionally join SLAO, you are welcome to do so if you meet these requirements. You have to be a military active duty or honorable discharge veteran. If you meet those requirements, you can be eligible. Additionally, You have to attend a 2-year or 4-year institution. So being a student at Essex County College, whether you're a member of the Veteran Service Group or not, you are eligible to participate in Salute. However, the Salute program will be managed and operated within the Veteran Service Group. You also will have to have and maintain a 3.0 GPA. With those 3 requirements, you are eligible to participate in Salute while being a part of the Veteran Service Group. To be a member, there is a one-time membership fee for life, and that is $35 paid by the student who joins our chapter. And so again, there are quite a few benefits to being a part of the group. You'll get a package, you'll receive their challenge coin. I know a lot of our veterans are aware of military challenge coins, and you'll receive one of those, and you will have a lifetime membership in this distinguished honor society. I am currently a member of Phi Theta Kappa, and I'm very happy to be a part of it. But once I realized that that Salute existed, I felt like it'd be very appropriate for me to be a part of it. And I thought that it would be great. Myself and Nicholas thought that it would be great to bring that to this institution. So look forward to that from the VSG. We will also be doing community service and volunteer activities. The President's Volunteer Service Award is an opportunity to be recognized at the highest levels of government office for your distinguished, outstanding volunteer service. Participation in the program is absolutely free. The Veteran Service Group will coordinate the efforts of volunteer activities throughout our group, as well as other clubs who would like to participate. And if they are willing to submit their hours that are certified by their respective faculty advisors, those hours will be consolidated into Essex County College list, and we will keep track of people's hours. Once you meet, there are a certain amount of hours that you would meet to receive. If you look at the bronze level, the silver level, the gold level, and then there have the lifetime award. And all the hours you do here, volunteering while you're a part of this program, you can take with you to other programs that you other institutions you may join that have a similar program. I will tell you that while I was in the Navy, I brought this program to our Junior Petty Officer Association, and we did a whole lot of volunteer activities. And before I transferred, I was awarded the bronze level award, and I received a letter signed by President Barack Obama. And I'm honored to have that award. And it's definitely something students can put on their resume and put in their transfer applications to show their continued service to the community. Hello, and welcome back to our Vet 365 program here at Essex County College. And we'd like to move on to our keynote speaker of the day, the Dean of Student Affairs here at Essex County College, Dean Kirkland. Dean Kirkland, thank you for showing today.
Well, first of all, I want to thank you, Mr. Jackson, for allowing me to be a part of this, what I call a very meaningful celebration or recognition of the contribution the veterans have made to us. As a young man growing up in the city of Newark and coming up and going through the challenges, I found that the service had provided me with a lot of experiences that helped carry me through my educational endeavors. So I'm indebted to the military for a lot of things, self-discipline, also just providing me with a lot of confidence in my ability to do things. And also too, it made me have an appreciation for what's really real. And that's the freedom to be who you want and to do who you want or be who you want in this world. And I try to take advantage of that. A little bit about me. I grew up in the city of Newark, born and raised pretty much. I went to public schools throughout my secondary experience, elementary, junior high school, all in Newark. I'm a proud graduate of Malcolm X Shabazz High School. After I graduated from high school, I actually went to a little college that's now, it was back then Newark State, but it is now it's called Keene University. I stayed out there for about a year and a half or a year. Didn't do well. I wasn't sure I was prepared for college or not, but I took a shot. I had a little JV basketball scholarship and I played, got hurt, just stopped going to school. So rather than return back to college, I went to work and got a pretty good job right down here in Newark in Prudential. But, you know, working as a young man in Newark and, you know, you wanting more, there was always more. And during those years in the 70s, there wasn't a lot of opportunities for of young men in the city because of these social constraints and social conditions. And I realized that it was more trouble in the streets than I wanted to be involved in. So I made a decision to enter the military to try to get a new perspective on life and help me with growing up, basically. And that's what I did. So I enlisted, went into the service, did 3.5 years in the service. I was a signal company, 5th Special Forces Group attached to a communication squadron. I was a paratrooper. I actually served overseas in Iran. I actually did service in Alaska. Believe it or not, I was stationed in Alaska, Germany. Had a lot of chance to travel and grow up and learn a lot more about me and the service and a lot more about the world, which really helped me with my maturation. It made me even more focused on making a commitment for self-improvement to become a better Keith Kirkland at that point in time. And the military did that for me. And so back in 1978, in January, I thought I was getting out of the service, but the military asked me to extend my commitment to them for another 6 months to serve over in Tehran, where we worked with the Iranian government. Myself and about 10 others worked with the Iranian government, doing a lot of training exercises over there in the deserts of Tehran. And that was a very different experience, but it was very enlightening because you got a chance to see the other part of the world and how people lived. And you got a chance to appreciate just what you have in the United States. And I'm gonna say this too, and I think all veterans understand, you never know how good it is in the United States till you're actually in another country and you're looking at a flag on a pole from another country and not seeing United States flag. You realize your limitations in that country, realize the freedoms that you have in the United States where others don't. So I just wanted to throw that in there because it's important. Because I realize that we see a lot about our country, but there's a lot good stuff about the freedoms that we enjoy, just to pursue our own interests in our lives. And yeah, there's challenges, and yeah, we know the history of us in America, meaning us as Afro-American in history, but I think that we have the opportunity to overcome them with hard work and also sticking together and moving together in a positive force to overcome these challenges. They don't have those kind of freedoms in other countries. We do. And I just think we need to come together and take advantage of that freedom to form movements, to make impact on our society that way as a people. So all that, believe it or not, I gleaned from being in the service, which was very helpful to me and all. So when I got out of the service, the thing that happened with me was I got out on June 12th, 1978. Two things you never forget as a veteran: the day you went in and the day you got out. I remember my ETS day like it was yesterday. And in September 1978, I was enrolled in Seton Hall University. Didn't take any time off. Just went straight into undergraduate, Seton Hall University for my undergraduate degree. If I have to tell you about the challenges of being a veteran, being out of school for 3.5 years, going into university and struggling, I can tell you that there was day-to-day challenges with doing that. Day-to-day challenges with me, the coursework, just surviving as a veteran, meagerly trying to live off of veterans' benefit and working, and all, but there were the challenges. And I think the veterans know when I talk about the challenges, just going from one military world back into civilian life and trying to deal and adjust with the changes that I saw from when I went in to when I came out, because there were substantial changes in society and what was going on in my community and also in the world that we came back to. So it was a lot of adjustments that I had to go through during that period of time to make sure that I could survive, and I did. I was very fortunate that I ran into some people, other veterans who, like myself, were coming back into the world of Seton Hall. We kind of clicked and formed a little support group. And one of the things that happened was we found out this support group really was working. We started noticing that as we started progressing in our college path, we started to see ourselves standing out and staying in place more. In other words, we were moving from freshman to sophomore to junior till there was a core group of us left as seniors that we actually were on track for graduation because of that connection and support. And I do think that that's an important thing to realize. No matter where you go, you can always find like people in your sphere that can help you with the challenges that you may have if you just reach out for help or even form your own support group and support network, which is another thing that I learned, about just surviving in the military and using that as in part of my survival skills that I needed to be successful in the world when I got out of the service. So it was all those kind of things that were really unique that from the experience that helped me through undergraduate degree. So after Seton Hall, I came to work, and believe it or not, I came to work here at Essex County College as a very young man with a degree, and I taught basic math skills here. I saw what was going on at Essex. I liked it, and I stayed with it. And as I worked here as an adjunct in Essex, I also was a grad student over at Rutgers, and I stayed, and I liked what was going on. So I stayed because it was a very positive place back then. Essex had a lot going on. I saw, when I walked through the door and I saw all the positive things that were happening with our students and what the college was doing, I knew I had to be a part of it. And I did, and I decided to stay. And that's where I started working with various people in the institution, found my place in the institution, found out that I could, be of some help to the students who attended the college from our community. And that was important. It was important for me to do that. And as I stayed and grew in Essex, I found opportunities for growth. I also found opportunities to take advantage of what I think is probably one of the most precious things was the pursuit of an education. I earned a master's degree from NJIT by being here at Essex using their tuition reimbursement plan. And also I pursued and earned a doctorate degree from Rowan University because of the ability to have a tuition reimbursement plan from Essex. So Essex was very good to me, and in that way, in allowing me the resources to pursue my education. And I was very happy about that. And I was very proud of the fact that I could say that because of Essex, my work here at Essex, I actually had these personal achievements, which I wanted to bring back to my college and contribute to the growth and development of our students here at Essex. And pretty much that's about a nutshell of where I came from and where I am now and the role I serve here at Essex. And that's probably it. Okay.
I recognize so much of what you're talking about. All of those experiences are, man, Dean Kirkland, we have to sit down and talk because
Be happy to.
you sat there and told my story just now. I said, am I listening to me or am I listening to them? You know, there were some differences, but my grandmother's house was right behind Shabazz, okay? Still there. She passed away 2 years ago. And we still have that house, and we haven't given it up, and we still have cookouts and parties there. So I know that neighborhood. I worked here. I went to Essex right out of I dropped out of high school and went to Essex. It's crazy because I was in high school while after I dropped out of high school, my friends were still in high school and I was at Essex.
Wow.
and I did the same thing. I wasn't really ready for it at that age. And I was just so excited, and I moved on and worked in public health and then joined the military like you did. And I joined the Navy and traveled the world. I hit some of those spots you mentioned. I was in Afghanistan, Kuwait,
I see you,
Qatar.
Yeah.
I was in Bahrain. I was in all of those places. Yeah, I lived in Bahrain for almost 2 years. And it was an experience. So, and just like you said, having the opportunity, Mr. Ott, go ahead and hit record. Having the opportunity to experience the world the way we have. It's a unique experience. It's something when you're there and you see the American flag next to the Bahraini flag or the Afghani flag, but you recognize that you're there and you are representing something that they see differently. They see us differently, regardless of how you see yourself. Regardless of how your experience in America is, when you go there, you are an American. And we represent so much to them, some in negative views, but many in many positive ways. And living in Bahrain for myself and going to Qatar and Kuwait and Afghanistan and seeing the world. I've been to India and Africa, or Tanzania, Africa, and so I've been so many different places, and our military carries a honorable reputation and prestige that we take for granted when we get back here, and we're like either in the military or you're a vet. Or you're a civilian, and it's like, but we don't really see how the service that so many men and women have given and committed to the military is what keeps us safe, and the option to go or not go, to do or not do, to speak or not speak, to be or not be, and we represent the divide between those different realities. So I'm really appreciative of your service. And a lot of times when people say thank you for your service, you go, well, you're welcome, or you don't know what to say. I tend to say I'm proud to have served. You know, that's what I landed on. But thank you so much for your service, not just in the military, but how you've carried yourself throughout your life and beyond the military here at Essex, and supporting the veterans and students here at Essex. This is just the reason that this club is being created, is to create a space for veterans like yourself to share these stories, and other veterans like myself who was in the Navy in a totally different service, although I proudly wear my Navy/Army fatigues because I served under an Army command and got an Army Achievement Medal in the process.
Oh,
And
okay.
one of the few Navy people to have that. And I
That's rare.
you know, I want to be able to hear your story and share your story in a space where veterans can understand it and empathize and say, I've been there, done that, and got the t-shirt to prove it, you know?
Yeah. Well, you know
Yeah.
what I always want to make sure our veterans understand is that we know the transition and you come from the military back into civilian life, how difficult that can be. Because 3 years of or 4 years of military experience changes a man. I mean, it changes him for a good way too, but that transition period, that's where I saw a lot of veterans have difficulty. Fortunately for me, like I said, I latched on to a couple of veterans that we helped our way through. But you also seem as though you understood that transition and made that transition too. And I think that when we talk about the veterans group that you have, I think you talk about understanding them and their experiences. I think that's understanding that transition right now between veteran or military service to veteran status to being in the real world and trying to negotiate the world and trying to make a living. You know, that's where we need to support. And what you're doing with the veterans group is so meaningful. As I told you my story, we didn't have a veterans group, but it was a couple of us that we just stuck together. What you're doing is you're creating that sense of community and networking for veterans that's going to be meaningful to do. Nobody understands a vet like a vet. Let's just
Thank you so
where
much,
you came
Dean
from.
Kirkland.
So thank you for what you're doing. And
Thank you, Dean Kirkland. I appreciate your time. We'll end there. You bring a sense of encouragement to this group, and we look forward to continuing doing work and reaching out to you for your continued support. Thank you so much.
And thank you. And you have my support. Thank you very much.
All right. And thank you for joining us again. We will continue our Veterans Day program here at Essex County College through the Veterans Service Group. Now we'll have our veterans briefing, and we'll be covering GI Bill and its updates. Today we have the pleasure of having Ms. Disdarovich of Enrollment Services, who is also the certifying officer for Veterans Administration here at Essex County College. Ms. Disdarovich, please. Thank you.
Thank you. It's really a pleasure to be invited to such important event, which is first to thank you for all veterans for their service. Essex County College always honors, respect, and work together with the veterans. So today, November 11th, Veterans Day. But for my office and for work that I'm doing at Enrollment Services, Veterans Day is every day. I am trying, and that's one of my roles, to be sure that all veterans receive educational benefits that they are applied for, and that they receive monthly housing allowance if they are entitled to in timely manner. There are things that are changing with veterans educational benefits, and very often veteran students at Essex County College are not aware of. Unfortunately, things changed during last year and a half for COVID-19 pandemic. VA immediately jumped in to help our veterans so they do not get in financial crisis, and they are that monthly housing allowance continue coming to our veterans. The rule with monthly housing allowance for eligible veterans is that veteran needs to be enrolled at least in one residential course, and the other courses can be online and virtual. However, in March of 2020, when COVID-19 pandemic started, the majority of classes, actually the first couple of months, all classes were converted to online or virtual instruction methods. That, by the previous rule from VA, will affect monthly housing allowance for veterans. So the new rule took effect and says, you know what, if the classes who were initially supposed to be in residency converted to online or virtual instructional method, we will treat them same as residential. So no interruption in monthly housing allowance happened to veterans. Unfortunately, unfortunately, the rule is ending effective December 21st, 2021. And as of December 22nd, we are back to all rule. Fortunately, I said this means that maybe we are out of wood from pandemic. So for all veterans, they really need to be careful choosing classes for following semester, which will be either winter session or spring, that they at least choose one residential class in order to receive full monthly housing allowance. Monthly housing allowance is calculated based on school zip code where school is located. So for Essex County College, we are talking about $2,600 to $2,700 monthly for veterans who is 100% eligible for post 9/11 or known Chapter 33 benefits, or and taking full load of courses. If veterans decide to go with online or virtual classes, the monthly housing allowance will be an average, national average, which is little over $900 a month. Huge difference. The second new approach in VA, which always end up with the public law, is public law, which is 38 U.S.C. 3695, which says that the rule of 48 months for any type of benefit. So if we have Chapter 31, which is disabled veteran, service-connected disability, if they use 24 months of educational benefit under Chapter 31 and then change to post 9/11, they will only have 24 month remaining benefits for Chapter 33 or post 9/11. That rule is eliminated. It's really encouraged that all veterans who come out of service with a service-related disability first use Chapter 31, and after that switch to post 9/11 Chapter 33. The other rule that most of veterans also heard is the forever GI Bill. Forever GI Bill post 9/11 really means that the entitlement time stays as initially approved. However, the use of that is forever. Prior to post 9/11, it was 10 years after discharge to use or lose educational benefits. After introduction of post 9/11 or Chapter 33 GI Bill, it was moved to 15 years after discharge date. And now with the forever GI Bill, post 9/11 GI Bill, that's eliminated. Just to keep in mind that this only affects veterans who are discharged after January 1st, 2013. So everybody from 2001 until December of 2012, going on the old rule, Chapter 33 post 9/11. After that is forever Chapter 33. And one more thing I forgot to say about disabled veterans using Chapter 31 educational benefits, known for so many veterans as vocational and rehabilitation educational program. That is changed. The name is changed. Now it's called Veterans Readiness and Employment Program. So abbreviation stays the same. However, the name really changed. I also encourage, this is new, that VA launched new system to help timely answer all questions, concerns that veterans may have, including school certifying officials, and it's called Ask VA, or known as AVA. AVA, you know that VA loves abbreviations. That new system will be replacement for IRIS. That's how the old system was known. So this AVA system is completely online, allow customers to submit questions, concerns, recommendation, compliments, or complaints. And it's really going to roll much faster. Please, easy tracking or any conversation or inquiries with AVA is using va.gov login webpage. And if you need to register your account, you can use through VA directions, either enrollment or just follow instructions. It's really simple to use. And the last thing that I would like, I don't say that's the last new thing with VA, but I would really like all veterans to pay attention to is round. It's called round out or round up. The VA educational benefits work this way. The veterans need to take courses that they are part of their curricula. Or, for example, if you need to take remedial math or pre-calculus in order to take calculus, the VA will pay for all those courses. VA will pay for the course that you did not receive satisfactory grade, which is F, or D in certain cases. So if you cannot have a D in major course requirements, VA will pay for that class to be repeated. If you can graduate with grade D in your curricula, VA will not pay for that class. So what happens, the last semester for majority of veterans, they end up with taking less than 12 credits. That affects monthly housing allowance. So veterans are forced to take less than 12 credits. To overcome that issue, VA came with this new rule, round out or round up, allowing veterans to take additional courses which will fulfill full-time registration requirements, even if that additional course is extra course, as long, I'm not saying just one course, it can be 2 or 3, as long as they are listed as option to take in their curricula. The simplest way is to say this. If your major asks for 3 credits in social sciences, and it lists to choose courses from sociology, psychology, anthropology, political science, and you take psychology 101. So you are short 2 courses to be full-time student in your final semester. You can take psychology and anthropology course, which will fulfill that requirement. And I think this is excellent move from VA. Anyway, if veterans need additional information, they are more than welcome to either call me. My telephone number is 973-877-3154, or email to me at Delta India Zebra, Delta Alpha Romeo Echo Victor at Essex.edu. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Disterovich. It was a pleasure listening to your presentation. I have learned so much about the new updates, and I'm sure our other veterans here at Essex County College will appreciate your presentation. I did have a couple of quick questions. For when you switch from the post 9/11 GI Bill, I believe is Title 33 to Title 31, how, let's say I've already used half of my GI Bill in Title 33 and I want to switch to Title 31, and then I'll get a full 36 months again. When I switch back to Title 33, how are my months? What are my months at that time? Am I left with the months that I had when I moved over, and that's what I have remaining, or those reset to an additional 36 months?
Because this is the first time when this will take effect, the claimant who already used the educational benefits first, meaning, you already use post 9/11 known as Chapter 33, but you met specific criteria on the VRAP program, meaning you have disability service related, a retroactive induction into VREA, or Veterans Readiness and Education and Employment Program, may be provided. They say maybe because each case will be reviewed, but based on the rules, how I read it, the VA will do everything in their capability to give you back all your month used in post 9/11 to be used in Chapter 31. So you will not lose them. You will get back. So if you have 36 months of your post 9/11, you use 18 months. So if you switch to Chapter 33 based on your eligibility, VA will give you back your 18 months. So when you finish with Chapter 31 and you go back to Chapter 33, you will have your remaining 36 months of educational benefits.
Wow,
It's great.
It is a great opportunity, and it really is. It says that for those veterans who were eligible, like myself, for example, I use myself for example. I'm using Title 33 right now, and I've been hesitant about switching to Title 31. I really wasn't confident that when I come back, what will be the benefit of switching back to 33. And now this new policy just makes it easier for me to decide that I'll pretty much be getting a whole new GI Bill when I go to Title 31. And then when I come back to Title 33, I'll have a new GI Bill all over again, despite the fact that I've already used half of it.
I will just like everybody to understand this, and when we think outside the box, vocational rehabilitation, or now called Veterans Readiness and Employment Program. So it tells you that they are really preparing you for good employment. However, Chapter 31 pays for certificate. I'm sorry, this is like the light gets off. For a certificate program, for licensing, for associate degree and bachelor degree. And that's where it ends. So now we have so many veterans who would like to continue their education beyond undergraduate, but they use their post 9/11 or Chapter 33, so then they are stuck with the loans. So to allow the veterans to use especially veterans who are with the service-related disability, so they say, go first use your Chapter 31, get up to, finish your undergraduate, and when you go for your graduate or postgraduate, use your GI Bill Chapter 33, and it pays for your education. It's an excellent program.
Yes, very great. Thank you so much for letting us know about those changes. They are very, very beneficial to veterans. And I think that the VA is listening to veterans and observing their experience and how the post 9/11 GI Bill has to continue to change like a living document in order to be most effective for the needs of veterans at the time. It's changing as our needs change. And I really appreciate you bringing that awareness to this program. Thank you so much, Mr. Deservich.
Very welcome. It was a pleasure to be a guest.
Okay, welcome back to our Vet 365 program. And now we're going to continue with another one of our vet briefs. And now we're going to be talking about resume translator. And we are going to have Miss St. Jean, the coordinator of Career Resources and Development Initiative here at Essex County College. Miss St. Jean.
Hi, Mr. Jackson. How are you?
Hi, thank you so much for being here. It's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you so much for having me. And today we're going to talk about resume writing. When we're talking about resume writing, we want students like to learn how to write a military to civilian resume, and we want them to emphasize like skills and achievements on a resume, and also to learn about important headings to include and not to include on their resume, and learn how to write the job description experience on their resume, and also learn how to format their resume. So after each workshop, we want students like to be able to identify like a good resume versus a bad resume, and also learn about the do's and don'ts for creating a resume and be able to write their own resume. So why resumes are important? Resume is an overview of your qualifications, and it also include your education, work experience, credentials, and accomplishments. There are like three types like of resume formats. So the first one is chronological, which include your work experience, skills, and reverse chronological order, like from present to past tense. And the second one include functional, which is like the skills-based resume. This one mostly focus on your skills. And the third one is the combination, which is like a combination of chronological and functional resume. Basic resume writing tips. If you want to write a good resume, you need to ensure that you use like a standard like 8.5 by 11 white paper. And also you keep a 1-inch margin on all 4 sides of the page. Don't use any fancy design, any fancy color. You keep your sentence short and to the point, and you use italics, bold, and capitalize important headlines so they can stand out. And also you use single space within sections, double space between sections. Use bullets at the beginning of a list, and proofread your spelling and factual errors. And whenever possible, use numbers to show the size, volume, time, money, effort, or results of a project that you work on. And also certain times you might see resume where they include like students include objective or professional summary. The objective is like a brief statement of your goals for employment, and it also indicates specific position and organization. And sometimes it's like might be 1 to 2 sentences long, while the professional summary is a statement of your professional experience, which includes your skills, key achievement, and area of expertise. And it might be like 3 to 5 sentences paragraph. Resume checklist. Your contact information, it needs to be is online, bold, and slightly larger than the rest of the contact information, and also professional email address, 1 phone number, complete mailing address, street name and number, city and state, and zip code. But also it's fine if you do not include your mailing address. You can just put your city and the state that you've been living in. And also your education need to be in reverse chronological order. the full name of the current school, city, and state. For example, if you are currently an Essex County College student, you put Essex County College, then comma, then you put Newark, then comma, then you put New Jersey. And also, like, you include your degree and major and expected graduation date, month, and year, and you include GPA only if it is over 3.0. And also you list any additional schools where a degree or certificate was completed. When we mention about certificates, you only include it if it is relevant or current. Also, you include the official name of the certificate, the organization that you receive it from, and you list the issue date and the expiration date if there is any. And as for your work experience, it can be work, it can be internship, it can be volunteer. You add like the name of the employee, the city, and the state. You do not include the address and zip code. You include your job title. Dates of employment, for example, if you started from May 2020 to present, you put May 2020 to present. Or if you started from January 2020 to November 2021, then you put January 2020 to November 2021. And also you use keywords or action verbs to describe like real responsibility, and you use verb tense. And the verb tenses they need to be consistent and correct. All past tense verbs for past position. Dates are in reverse chronological order. For example, you start with the most recent job at the top. And you also avoid to use I and my and narratives and paragraphs. You include honors and awards if you have any. And when you're gonna include them, you add the name of the organization, the award or recognition, and the dates. Computer skills. If you have some computer skills, if you are familiar with computer or you're proficient with it, so you should also include it on your resume. And language skills. If you speak a different language other than English, it's great to add it there. Sometimes, like, you never know, you might be looking for a job and they require for the applicant to speak another language to be bilingual. Resume format. When you are formatting your resume, you need to ensure that each section in reverse chronological order. Use underline to emphasize various sections. Line up dates and bullet points. Acronyms and months spelled out. When we mention acronyms, for example, if you hear me say ECC, I might be talking about Essex County College. You might know and another person might not know. For example, not like you, they can have like so many acronyms for ECC. So that's why like the person, like, you're gonna do your resume and the person doesn't know what like ECC mean. So that's why you're gonna spell it out and put Essex County College. And the months need to be spelled out and the city spelled out and state abbreviated. When we mention abbreviated, for example, when you put in New Jersey, instead of writing the word New Jersey, you just put NJ, which stand for New Jersey. And no personal pronouns such as I and my, and one page unless over 10 years of relevant experience. But also, if you realize that your resume is looking onto 2 pages, the contact information can put on one line using the earn set symbol function. And also you minimize margins like to 0.5 minimum. And you can decrease the font, but no smaller than 10. So you don't want it to be too tiny. So you can go from 12 to 10. And as related to military skills, transferable military skills can include teamwork, leadership, organization, compliance, strategic planning, dedication, communication, flexibility, problem solving, technical skills, integrity. Those are some transferable skills like a veteran students can add in their resume. And those are like military occupation specialists. You might have all like those positions. If you can look over them, if it was something that you were doing at like the military base, so you can also include it on your resume. Job descriptions. So when you are gonna list your job description and your resume, you need to ensure that you use verbs at the beginning of each line and use present tense if it is a current job. Use past tense if it is a past job, and only include primary job responsibilities. Do not use more than 1 line per job duty. Use a maximum of 4 to 5 lines to explain the work you perform per job. And this is like some example of like job description as a sailors and marine haulers. So you can look over it and see if you hold that position, and if you've been doing those, if you've been those perform those job description, you can also use them on your resume as like a sentence that you can also use on your resume. List of actions verbs. If you've been working with data, those are list of actions verbs that you can also use in your resume, such as administer, analyze, calculate, compare, determine, develop, devise, direct, report, record, operate, organize, research, theorize, write. Those are some list of action verbs that you can use on your resumes to start like your sentences. And also those are action verbs if you've been working with things that you can use: address, alter, move, operate, order, perform, protect, repair, design, deliver, create. And if you've been working with people, for example, in the military, you could have been the team leader. So you can also like advise, you assess, you counsel, you create, you lead, and you manage, you motivate, you refer, you promote, you plan, you negotiate. Those are certain lists of action verbs that you can use if you've been working with people to describe the job that you've been performing. There are like different varieties of resume formats. So yours might be different from somebody else where they have more list more like formats than yours. For example, someone might have like their education include their experience, internship experience, volunteer experience, hours, language skills, computer skills, while yours might only have like the education part, related courses. When we mention related courses, for example, if you are applying for a job, um, and they require like for you to have work experience, and you did not have that work experience. So if you've been taking some courses and you notice that they are related to the job description, you can also add those courses on the related courses. And also you add your professional experience, activities, and also computer skills. And there's like the between functional and combination resume formats. While the functional resume format can only have like the contact information, objective, summary, skills, work experience, education, and also the combination resume might have contact information, skills, summary, additional skills, work experience, and education. The do's and don'ts when you are writing your resume: you need to make sure that your phone number is always up to date and create a voicemail, and check your email at least once every 2 days when you are actively applying for a job with your resume. And you need to make sure that you know at least 3 references by name and phone number. You can use, when we mention references, we're not talking about friends or family members. References might be your supervisor, your professors, or also like a mentor. You can also like but before like you use them, you need to inform them that you are looking for a job, and you need to get their like approval like to use them as your reference. And spell check your resume always. And one advice I usually give students: sometimes like your eyes might have been like in the computer too much. So when you write in your resume, you can print it out, you read it loud to yourself, or also you can send it to somebody else so they can review it for you to see if there's any like spelling that you need to check, any errors that you need to fix. And also you need to keep your resume up to date with your accomplishment and work experience. And if you have an interview, I encourage you to bring at least like 2 copies of your resume with you in case if they did not print them out, so you are prepared. And also you make sure that your resume fit the type of the job that you're applying for based on the industry. So this is like a resume template where it's like showing you 2 different like type of resume, and there's like the wrong one and there's like the good one. So like it's like versus the bad one, you can see the person did not line up the bullet So with the other resume, which is the correct one, you see like everything is aligned. This is like a resume template in case if you do not have a resume, you can also use like to build up your resume. And also this is a blank one. But in case if you need a copy of a blank one or something that you can use, we are currently located in room 4122, Office of Student Development and Counseling. You can feel free to stop by Monday to Friday. If you need assistance with building your resume, reviewing your resume, you can reach out me. You can send me an email at ssaintj2 or you can kindly give us a call at 973-877-3399 because we're here to support you.
All right. Thank you, Miss St. Jean. It was a pleasure listening to your presentation, and it's so helpful for us veterans and students at Essex County College who are looking to transition to either transferring to a higher education four-year institution or seeking employment. Is really important to understand how to best present yourself in that resume. And so thank you so very much. I have a couple questions for you, and I'm hoping that I can ask some of the questions that other students might have as they build their resume. And just what do you think when you see resumes written by veterans? What are some of the things that veterans may put in their resume that may not be suited for the civilian resume writing?
Okay, I think as part of like to veterans, so it's like they need to avoid like using military jargon, for example, language. Some of the things that they might put on the resume, so we are not like civilians, we are not familiar with. Basically, we want them like to be like to include like the language we also speak. For example, instead of like putting commander and the resume, so they can also like put project manager, so they can review like different like job titles that other people that different job title, and they can also look on what they've been doing, where they can change that language, tweak that language, so all the recruiters can know like what they mean and what they're like they're talking about, because I know like they have the skills.
One of the other questions I have for you, when I've been writing my resume, I noticed that when you work for one command or one location or unit, right? Within that command, you might serve in several different departments, and your role is useful in different departments throughout your time there. So you're assigned that way. And being able to communicate that on your resume sometimes can be challenging, that understanding that chronology and be like, okay, why he got the USS Theodore Roosevelt here and then to Afghanistan here, and then in the same year he's back at the Roosevelt. How'd that happen? And so how do you think veterans could best communicate their vast work history? And with that same question, what are the things that veterans can do to make their resume less, I guess the best way to put it is soften their resume. Because we're talking about, for example, if I'm talking about some of my deployment experiences and I was on board this ship and we were deployed to this combat zone and I worked at a combat hospital and so on. And those things sound very heavy to the civilian person. What's the best way to deal with those things?
As part of like serving in different country, I don't think you need to include the countries that you've been working, you were living and working in. So I think you can just include, for example, the name of the organization, which is like the U.S. Navy, and also you include the job title because you might spend like 10 years working with them, And you can, for example, if you've been working with like within different department, I think that you have like different roles. So you can also include all those roles that you've been on there. So you can also add those information on your resume. And one thing is like you can have so many resume, and before you sending your resume to one employer, so you can go review that job description that they have, and you come back and tailor your resume based on those job description. And you can also use those soft skills that you have like on your resume, you listing them on your resume.
Mm-hmm. Now, so do you think veterans should emphasize or downplay their those veterans who have deployed in combat scenarios or war, foreign wars? For example, being deployed to Afghanistan, should I talk about that or leave that out as much as possible?
Okay. Your resume is a snapshot like of your education and skills. Like you are translating your military experience, soft skills. And also, if you want to add more information when you submit your application, you can do your cover letter where you can go explain more, where you have like more like space to add information, so you can add more information to it. But I would say as your resume, you focusing on the work job description, on your skills, and also you on your education, on your achievements. And while in the military, if you've been taking some courses, you can also include those on your in your resume. For example, let's say, okay, you're coming back now, if a veteran is coming back and they want to apply for a job, is either with the police officer or a teaching position where they've been like teaching like some courses. So they can also review, okay, while I was there, what I was doing. And they can also review sometimes like, okay, they can view the job description and be like, okay, I've been doing those things while I was working there. I might have been at a different department, but I've been doing those things. So those are some great things you can also include on your resume, because like remember, like now they're having like that system that customized the applicant tracking system. So basically, when an employer have like those job descriptions, so you need to ensure that you review it and the key important words, the action verbs that they're using. So you can also include them on your resume, because when your resume go through that system, they can catch like those words, those action verbs that you have, those strong words that those employers are looking for. So they can review your resume and see that, okay, now they will pick it up. And it's like basically, yeah, you think about what you've done related to the position, and you need to show the employer why you are the right candidate for the job.
All right, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you for your presentation again. I think that the students who participate in this day, Veterans Day, are going to walk away with a wealth of information, and that's partly due to your contribution. And thank you so much. Ms. St. Jean, coordinator of the Career Resource and Student Development Initiative here at Essex County College. Thank you so very much for joining us.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jackson. And students can feel free to stop by anytime. We are open Monday to Thursday from Monday to Friday, Monday to Thursday from 9 to 5, on Friday from 9 to 3. So students can feel free to stop by if they need assistance with building their resume or reviewing their resume. So they can come, they don't have to make an appointment. They don't need to make an appointment. So they can just feel free to stop by. They can call me, or they can just give me a call. And if they want to forward the email, like the resume to my email, they can do that. They can forward it in a Word document, and we'll be like really happy like to review those resume. And we all thank you like for the opportunity. Thank you so much for this opportunity like to serve veteran students. And we are here like to support you anytime. Feel free to stop by or call.
All right. Thank you so very much. We appreciate having you.
Thank you.
Hello, and welcome back. And now we'll be proceeding to the veterans briefing. This subject will be the services available at your local VA healthcare center. Today we have Dr. Alba Lopez, and she is the program manager for the Post 9/11 Military to VA program. Dr. Alba, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Mr. Jackson, for inviting me here today, and it's just an honor and a pleasure to be with you.
Thank you so much. It is a pleasure to have you.
So, welcome everyone. I just want to introduce myself. My name is Dr. Alba Lopez. I am the program manager for the Post 9/11 Military to VA program here at the VA New Jersey healthcare system. We've had various names, the first one being OEF-OIF, then we became OEF-OIF-OND for Operation Iraqi Freedom, Operation Enduring Freedom, and Operation New Dawn. And then we became Transition Case Management, and our most recent incarnation, in order to be more inclusive of all the veterans serving during those time periods, became the Post 9/11 Military to VA program. The total veterans that have separated from post 9/11 active duty following deployment as of the 30th of September in 2018 was over 3,117,700 post 9/11 veterans. 371,000 came from New Jersey alone. And it includes 15,000 veterans and service members who died in theater. How are the post 9/11 wars different from past wars? In addition to being one of the longest wars, it's a volunteer service. Everyone who served did so of their own volition. They were not drafted. Many had multiple deployments. Often they had 2 to 3 deployments, and special operations often went more than 4. Women found themselves on the front lines of combat for the first time in history. And the implementation of improvised explosive devices, or IEDs. Women in the military are experiencing very much the same stressors that their male counterparts are experiencing, including multiple deployments, combat exposures, and military sexual assault, often referred to as MST. The post 9/11 transition from military veterans to civilian life includes physical symptoms, post-traumatic stress disorder, traumatic brain injuries or TBIs, substance abuse disorders, depression, employment problems, relationship problems, housing issues, readjustments to family and surrounding, and emotional adjustments. And many of these variables are not dependent on a combat exposure. Sometimes just being in the theater of operation can cause a lot of these same issues. So we don't distinguish between combat and non-combat in those events. The risks we see to our returning and cherished veterans is higher incidence of suicide. Many of you are familiar with the 22 a day. Domestic violence, which is now often referred to as intimate partner violence or IPV. Driving under the influence, whether it's under alcohol or pharmaceuticals, and violence. Veterans in the community are often identified for a lot of things. Unfortunately, what tends to get the most attention is the negative behaviors. So acting out behaviors increases that may be attributed to PTSD or which is post-traumatic stress disorder, or traumatic brain injuries, TBIs, which often cause inappropriate behaviors or things that aren't easily explained, but probably easily observed. Anger outbursts or emotional dysregulation. Traumatic brain injuries can also cause unsteady gait, slurred speech, which may look like the person is drunk or high when in fact they are not. Treatment and resources at the VA can help with many of these issues. Our mission at the VA is to care for those who have borne the battle and their widow and their orphans. And that was a comment made famous by Abraham Lincoln and started with the main mission of the VA long before it became called the Veterans Administration. So with the post 9/11 cohort, we have 5 years of free medical treatment for combat veterans. The post 9/11 combat veterans can receive cost-free medical care for any condition related to their service in the Iraq, Afghanistan theater for 5 years after the date of discharge, if they register prior to the end of that 5 years. After the 5-year period ends, the VA care and treatment will continue for free if the veteran is service connected for their injury. Service connection means you actually undergo an application and a series of exams which verify that you have a medical injury or condition that is the result of your service. And we usually try to help people initiate that the minute they hit our doors. Non-service connected conditions are also covered with a copay before the 5 years has ended. If you continue to be eligible for care at the VA following those 5 years, you can also be treated for those conditions, but you will incur a copay for those specific conditions. Assessment and post 9/11 transition. Each veteran is assessed for post-traumatic stress disorder, depression, traumatic brain injury, drinking habits, substance abuse, misuse of pharmaceuticals, thoughts of suicide, and also evaluated for social issues, including homelessness, financial problems, difficulties navigating the academic environment or the academic benefits, and relationship issues. It is a huge transition under the best of circumstances to go from the military and reintegrate into the civilian community, because things have changed since we've been away and we've grown and had very different experiences as veterans. VA benefits and treatment planning. Once you arrive at the VA, we will explain your benefits and put you in the hands of a veteran service officer or the Veterans Benefits Administration, which is separate from VHA healthcare, to get everything that you're entitled to. We offer case management services for individuals that are really struggling, and we develop treatment plans for medical and psychological treatment for those individuals, and even for those individuals who are doing pretty well but maybe need a little assistance navigating the medical system, we can also provide short-term case management. We assist with connecting you to a veteran service officer so that you can file a claim for service connection. And we will offer supportive counseling. Many of the people on our team are veterans, and if they're not a veteran themselves, they're either the son, daughter, or spouse of a veteran. We have a really committed group. And we assist with negotiating the VA system, which even as employees can be a little daunting. So we're here to kind of help you with that. Included in the treatments are treatment for post-traumatic stress disorder and mental health services, such as individual therapy. They do have an 45-day inpatient post-traumatic stress disorder program at the Lions campus. If you have combat exposure and you have PTSD, you are eligible for that. Intensive outpatient programs for PTSD also exist for individuals that may be in school or working and want to manage their care in that fashion. We have an inpatient substance abuse treatment program, which is called the residential program. It's currently at Lions due to the COVID-19 pandemic, but it's normally out here at East Orange. It is a 28-day program, and they also have a fairly large outpatient substance abuse treatment program, which is also available virtually, and they do have some evening and weekend groups. They have the Women's Military Sexual Trauma Unit. It's an inpatient program. It's very small, and it is really focused on women who have experienced MST. I highly recommend it. I wish we also had one for men, but right now we have a women's MST unit. The support group for post 9/11 veterans is a small group, but it's very cohesive and is also available for people. We also have DBT skills training educational groups. We also have treatment for traumatic brain injuries, which involves cognitive remediation therapy by a speech therapist or an occupational therapist, and individual or group therapy available. If someone is within recent injury for a TBI, we do have a site in Richmond that actually offers inpatient acute rehab. We have a TBI support group, which meets monthly. We have 2 TBI case managers, and we also have neuropsychological testing and therapy. We are very proud to be leaders in serving our LGBTQA veterans. You know, at a time in the service when I was serving, LGBTQA veterans kind of didn't have a whole lot of rights and were afraid that their careers were in jeopardy. It's nice to be part of an organization and a new military where people are embraced for who they are. We continue that here, and we do have an LGBTQA coordinator, Mr. Joseph Vernick, who is also a wealth of resources. The VHA's commitment to LGBTQA veterans and employees includes promoting a welcoming health network and environment that's inclusive of our LGBTQA veterans and employees. It includes equal access to common bathroom facility corresponding to the employee or veteran's gender identity. We provide information, guidance, and education to VHA providers about LGBTQA health issues. Service dogs. Really excited about this. It's not something that the VA handles, but we have several organizations that do this. A service dog is trained to do specific tasks for a person that he or she cannot do because of a disability. The handler depends on the service dog's help. Service dogs are allowed most places the handler goes, according to the American with Disabilities Act. State and local government, businesses, and nonprofit organizations that serve the public must allow service animals wherever the general public is normally allowed to go. To be a service dog, a dog must go through training. Usually the dog is trained to do things that are different from natural dog behavior, do things that the handler or dog owner cannot do because of a disability, and work with the handler to help manage the disabilities. We also have community clinics. They're called CBOCs, community-based outpatient clinics. That's what that stands for. We have them in Patterson, Hackensack, Jersey City. We used to have one in Elizabeth. That one has now been closed, but we have one in Morristown, Piscataway, Hamilton, Brick, Tinton Falls, and Sussex. We also have the vet centers. The vet centers started shortly after Vietnam, and they are run by veterans for veterans. And it tends to be a place veterans like to go for one-on-one counseling if they don't require medication management, but they still need to talk to someone who understands. Many of our vet center colleagues are combat veterans themselves. And it seems to be the location of choice for people going into either law enforcement or the fire department, because those records are not part of our medical electronic records. So we have vet centers that offer combat veterans and their families individual counseling, group counseling, and couples counseling. They are located in Bloomfield, Morristown, Hackettstown, Oakland, Lakewood, Ewing, and I believe Secaucus. If a veteran in the community needs assistance and they aren't enrolled in the VA, they can call our eligibility department to determine if they are eligible for treatment at 973-676-1000, and they can ask for eligibility. You will need a picture ID, your DD-214, and they will ask you to complete a 1010 EZR. For contact information, we have the Veterans Crisis Hotline at 1-800-273-8255, dial 1 for veteran. We have the Homeless Hotline at 855-424-3838. And we have the VA number here, our main dashboard, 973-676-1000. The post 9/11 military to VA program is there for our veterans, and our goal is to help them re-enter the community. I'm Alba Lopez. It's an honor to be here for you. I am not only a veteran, I am the mother of a veteran. It has become the family business. And, you know, we want to welcome you back, and we want to thank you for everything you do. Tasheen, thanks again for having me here.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Lopez. It is a pleasure to have you, and thank you so much for your presentation. I just wanted to share that I am currently a recipient of the services that you provide in your department. I have a case manager providing all of those services that you outlined earlier. And I'm grateful for the opportunity to share with the school on a personal note that this program is definitely worth participating in. Despite its many names, it's certainly shown to try to include all veterans that are in need of its services. So thank you very much. I do have one question, actually two. I think you tapped on it a bit, but when you get out of the service with an honorable discharge, you become eligible for medical care within those first 5 years of discharge?
Correct.
And that's for every veteran. And then past the 5 years, this program will continue to provide service if you are service connected.
Correct. So everyone's automatically eligible for 5 years. But if you want to continue beyond those 5 years, you need to become service connected. And what that means is you need to apply for service connection with a veteran service officer. We can refer you to someone. And that will be for your medical conditions. So we always recommend that people make copies of their medical jacket from active duty and have those records, because that helps expedite the process. Once you're service connected for that condition, you can get care at the VA indefinitely for that condition at no cost. And then if you have other conditions, they will treat you for those as well. But if they are not service connected, there may be a copay involved, and that's going to depend on your means test.
Right. And I another thing to add, I didn't know this until it happened. When I became 80% disabled, once you get past a certain percent, you are able to get full coverage, even for medical conditions that are not service connected. So that's pretty something I found out that once I was able to, once I met that 80%. I don't know if it is 80%. I believe it may be a little bit shorter than that, lower than that, right?
I'm not sure what the cutoff is, but you know, and then and sometimes it's complicated, because if someone doesn't have other insurance and they have a certain income below what's required, then they may get free coverage just by virtue of their need. So there are a lot of criteria. So we defer to the eligibility department, but happy to be your care provider of choice.
Right, right. And thank you so much. And you had mentioned about these service animals. Are those also available? Can you talk about for people who might have post-traumatic stress disorder, can service dogs be assigned for that disability?
There are people that have service dogs assigned for PTSD. The process is not one that is handled by the VA. There are collateral agencies that do that, and we will assist you with a referral to those agencies and assist you with completing the paperwork. They will ask for information to vet you for whatever it is that you're applying for, and we can assist you with that process. But we don't have service animals at the VA that we kind of hand out. I think that's a common misconception. People are like, I want to volunteer, but I only want to work with the service dogs. I'm like, all right, so let me find you an organization that can help you.
All right. I think I'll get me a stress poodle. I'll be down. All right. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Lopez. It has been a pleasure talking with you and learning so much more about the program and services that the VA offer. Thank you so much, and continue doing the work that you do. And thank you on behalf of the Veteran Service Group here at Essex County College, myself personally, for the services that you guys have provided and continue to provide to the community. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's an honor, and welcome home. Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Fantastic, Dr. Lopez. Thank you so much.
Thank you, gentlemen. Have a great day.
All right, you too.
All right.
All right.
Thank you, Dr. Lopez.
My
All right.
pleasure to see
ahead.
you.
All right. Thank
Say
you.
hello
And I
next time
will
you
be
come by.
reaching out. Thank you so much. I will be reaching out to you, and I will be doing so much more. And I think that your program is the best gateway to get our students informed and more active in receiving your services. So I look forward to more and more of these type requests, and I look forward to just continuing to participate in your program.
Looking forward to seeing you, and thank you again. Take care.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye for now. The Veteran Service Group is a new group formed here by myself and Nicholas Pacifium, who is a U.S. Marine Corps veteran. And we just got to talking about the need for more support services for veterans here at Essex County College. But he and I both realized that this is going to be a project that is going to be successful by the support of the veterans, the students, faculty, and staff here at Essex County College. And so we are opening the executive committee to all students who want to take a leadership role in this great organization, or soon to be great organization. Right now, we have structured the organization with 5 executive officers. These executive officers will be the primary students that will keep the organization moving forward, and everyone else that participate in the group will be considered active members as they participate. Every student who participate will receive a letter from the president of the Veteran Service Group acknowledging their participation, giving an annotation of their community outreach and volunteer hours, and it will acknowledge their honors that they received. And so this letter will give you an opportunity to speak to your continued support. The leadership roles are very important to keep this group alive. And so we are asking all students who are interested to get involved, submit your name to the email address listed, and we will, and what position you are interested in filling. I'll briefly talk about the executive positions. We have the And we decided to go with roles that we are familiar with here in the military, but I put the civilian counterpart title right next to it. So the commanding officer, who is equivalent to the president, right now, that is myself. Until there is an election, anyone that is interested in running for president is welcome to do so, and I will graciously turn over those responsibilities when the election turns out in your favor. The executive officer who is also acting as the vice president, Nicholas Passafiume. I hope I'm saying his name correctly. He is the interim vice president. We also have the role of Sergeant Major, who will act as our treasurer. The yeoman, a Navy term I'm familiar with because I was a yeoman in the United States Navy, who will also act as our secretary for the group. And then our gunnery sergeant will be our operations officer. And these 5 roles will serve to keep the organization alive. As I mentioned earlier, our faculty advisor, Professor Yearwood, will continue to serve in that role, guiding this group. So all are welcome. All students are welcome, whether you are a veteran or not. And we certainly like you to submit your names as soon as possible. We will hold elections, but we do not have a date set forward. We will announce a meeting and time once we get people's names submitted for these executive offices. Again, you can contact us at eccvsg@gmail.com. And we will respond to you as soon as possible. And we look forward to your active involvement. Today's program is looking to provide an opportunity to acknowledge the service of our military veterans. And the Veteran Service Group and our 365 initiative hope to provide a platform for veterans and raise awareness of veterans and the services and needs of veterans here at Essex County College. Thank you so very much. And thank you for taking this time to participate in the Vet 365 program on Veterans Day, November 11th, 2021, here at Essex County College. We hope you've learned a lot, and we hope that you're able to take this information home and share it with your family and friends and veterans and those who support our veterans. Thank you so very much, Essex County College. I'd like to thank the Student Life Center for their continued support for the Veteran Support Group. I'd also like to thank all of our guest speakers and for their continued support for today's activity. I'd like to also acknowledge one more time the Essex County College School Store. And thank you so much for your support. The Essex County College Campus Store is our first official sponsor. And please be sure to post your name so you can be entered into the raffle. You must post your name and participate and view this recording on Veterans Day, November 11th, 2021, to be considered for the raffle. And you'll win a small prize donated by the campus store here at Essex County College. Again, thank you for your participation. My name is Tashin Jackson, and on behalf of the Veteran Service Group, We welcome your support. We thank you for your support. And to all of our veterans, thank you so very much for your service.